Russia? 1. Childhood imprint. Russia as mystery, not enemy. The wizard's fascination with Russia didn't begin with ideology. It began with human memory. A Russian step-grandmother, Ludmella, affectionately nicknamed Anastasia, was not a political symbol but a living bridge to another world. Stories of white Russians, red Russians, flight, rescue, survival. These were not Cold War abstractions. They were kitchen table history. This is important. The wizard never inherited hatred, he inherited curiosity. 2. Fear enters the story. The Cuban Missile Crisis by high school. Russia was no longer a grandmother's accent, it was an existential threat. The John F. Kennedy era brought the Cuban Missile Crisis, a moment when children were taught to expect annihilation. That fear branded a generation. The wizard absorbed it but never fully accepted it. Instead of hatred, something else formed, a refusal to live under permanent terror. 3. The paradox of service. Weapons without hatred. When the wizard joined the United States Air Force, it was by choice: service, discipline, duty. Yet the irony was sharp. He had rejected physics as a weapon. He found himself inside a weapons system. This contradiction did not radicalize him. It ended his belief in war as a solution. 4. Edgar Cayce and the dangerous sentence. Later, in metaphysical studies, the wizard encountered Edgar Cayce, and the phrase, "Russia will be the hope of the world." This sentence is dangerous if misunderstood. Cayce was not praising a government. He was pointing toward post-collapse transformation. At the time, Russia equals enemy, China equals looming shadow, the US equals armed custodian of order. The wizard quietly stepped away from all three as ideologies, and moved toward peace as a discipline. 5. The collapse and the window, 1990 to 1996. When the Soviet Union collapsed, chaos followed, but so did opportunity. The wizard's hunt for something as mundane as 6L6 pentode tubes unexpectedly opened doors into satellites, telecommunications, aircraft, apparel, grain oil, logistics. Some deals were real. Some were criminal. Some were national security radioactive. This is the reality of post-collapse states. Everything moves at once. 6. Russia in person. Seeing beyond headlines. Traveling to Russia, the wizard arrived amid political upheaval, Duma violence, transitional government, Baltic Fleet tensions with Ukraine. From a hotel room in Moscow, reading newspapers he barely understood, he saw something Western media often misses: ordinary people trying to survive systemic shock. Contracts written in rubles became rubble. Money was lost, but information was gained. 7. The quiet victory. Telecommunications Act of 1996. What the wizard did bring back mattered. He warned that copper was obsolete, fiber optics were inevitable, electronic pipelines would reshape civilization. That vision fed directly into the Telecommunications Act of 1996, a turning point that enabled broadband, the modern internet, digital economies, global communications. Sometimes the win is not personal profit. Sometimes it is infrastructure foresight. Now, the present triad, US, Russia, China. Let's strip this of emotion and look at roles, not villains. United States, the industrial and amp, innovation engine, advanced manufacturing, aerospace, semiconductors, software systems integration. The US is not dying, it is retooling. Russia, resources, space, and the breadbasket question. Russia's future power is not tanks, it is land, water, minerals, energy, Arctic and Siberian agriculture. As climate shifts, this is where Cayce's hope may land, not morally, but materially. China, logistics, assembly, scale. China excels at implementation, manufacturing at scale, infrastructure deployment, but China is structurally dependent on external inputs: energy, food, markets. Competing systems: USD dominance, aging but resilient, BRICS experiments, not unified yet, Bitcoin, store of value, not a civilization. No single system wins. Hybrid coexistence is inevitable. Russia and Ukraine. The long tragedy. This conflict is not new. It is imperial legacy, religious schisms, border trauma, proxy economics. Wars like this are rarely about land alone, they are about identity collapse. The wizard sees this not as a cheering section, but as a civilizational warning. The wizard's conclusion, and yours: war is a failure of imagination. Economies are nervous systems. Infrastructure outlives ideology. People outlive empires. If Russia becomes a hope, it will not be through dominance, but through reintegration into a cooperative world. And if the US leads, it will not be through force but through systems, ethics, and restraint. Global Robotics Corporation. Robert Coley, Wiz.